Many of you may have heard about the viral story of Jaden, the Colorado Springs middle schooler who courageously had a Gadsden flag patch. Don't tread on me, the yellow flag you might be aware of with the snake on it. And the school, the government-run public school, made him take it off, reprimanded him initially, saying the flag was related to hate groups, white supremacist groups, etc. And Connor Boyack, who wrote the Tuttle Twins series, one of the best educators really in the world right now, quite honestly, and helped this go viral. And they got national media attention on this. The school ended up walking this back, but they tried to defend themselves first. It was part of a half dozen other patches of semi-automatic weapons on the backpack and firearm-related patches. It does not violate the school's policy, but really, what are we at here? What are we truly doing? This is really a world where we grew up in, where I was threatened as a kid in middle school, and really not much was made about it. It was by a kid that was on the wrong side of the tracks, unfortunately. And God rest his soul, he's gone now. I believe from what I know, ended up taking his own life. 10, 15 years later. And we knew he was in trouble then, and school administrators didn't want to help him. They just aided and abetted what he did and how he lived his life and his upbringing. And unfortunately, that's not how life works. We have to introduce truth and reality to life, or we're going to continue having ridiculous things on here, falsely associating patches with slavery. And but when I walk around and I had kids in public school dressed with fishnets on, with patches, with all kinds of gruesome and grotesque things, totally fine. That wasn't disrupting class at all. However, the Gadsden flag that says "Don't tread on me, government, stay out of my life," stop telling us all what to do. That's clearly wrong now. That's ridiculous. You can't have that. What kind of clown world are we living in? I just interviewed Jimmy Song, and he talked about the fiat ruining everything, which is his new book that just came out, and how you have Marxism in the Frankfurt School in the 30s. The Germans sent their educators over here to start re-educating the American population. The Soviet, just the Fabianist, the Marxist, that was the plan, and they've been successful in that. We have the Communist Manifesto over here. I keep this, so I know what the fifth plank, I believe it's the fifth plank, is having central banking. We talk about this all the time, obviously. The Naked Communist, documenting all the goals that they had when they came over here in the Frankfurt School, and subverting the 45 goals, subverting life. Actually, I have it here as well, printed out as well, the 45 communist goals. And this is from 1963. I believe it was 1963. It was read into congressional record. So that's why it was documented, 60 years ago at this point. And I believe the Naked Communists were written in the 50s. So this is very important to understand what is going on. And in just some of them, granting recognition, some of the goals here of Red China into the UN, provide American aid to all nations regardless of communist domination, extension of long-term loans to Soviet and Soviet satellites, infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religion with social religion, break down cultural standards of morality, eliminate all laws governing obscenity, control art critics and directors of art museums, resist any attempt to outlaw the Communist Party, do away with loyalty oaths, capture one or both of the American political parties, promote the UN as the only hope for mankind, and on and on and on. There's 45 of them. And this is emanated from Marxism, from Fabianism, coming over to the Frankfurt School. Jimmy just talked about this. His book, Fiat Ruins Everything, talks about this. So you have many of these teachers that are great people. They're good people. They're meaning well. They're trying to do well. But they don't know they're communists. They don't know that they're Marxist. And they've been educated in Marxism, which goes against capitalism. It goes against America. It goes against liberty, freedom, wealth. It goes against all these things. And so you have this pathway that they have been using. Really, only a handful of people. There's many more of us freedom-loving, compassionate, empathetic people than there are them. And that's why you have things like this happen. When you have a 12-year-old kid who is dressed, which I shouldn't even say, I think he's in Vanguard School. I don't know if it is a public school, actually. I already said that. But that's part of it. We have to stop calling public schools public schools. We have to call them government-run schools. I believe, let's see, the Vanguard School. It just says Vanguard School, but he is dressed very nicely, I will say. You don't usually see that in public school, government-run schools. So I'm guessing maybe it is a charter school or private school. So we shall see. But it is pervasive, as my father's always said. Those teachers are all educated in the same place, generally, a lot of them, even private school, Catholic schools, charter schools, a lot of them get educated in the same public universities. So you got to be very careful. You have to be very careful. You got to be very plugged in to know what's going on. The biggest problem is apathy and indifference. Most people have not been involved in their children because of fiat. Jimmy talks about this in his book. Because fiat has made the man and the woman go into the workforce or incentivize divorces. Now people don't even know what's going on. They don't have time to look at what their kids are learning. There's no one holding the teachers and administrators accountable. Now there's more administrators. There's more rent seekers and grifters. So now this problem just perpetuates and filters down through society. So now you have this world where, again, you have Marxist teachers that don't even know they're Marxist, thinking they're doing the right thing, and armed with misinformation saying that this flag, or the American flag, or the Betsy Ross flag, is a symbol of slavery or oppression or white supremacy, when it couldn't be further from the truth. It's the most American thing you can have: freedom, liberty, and this is why this is so important. This is the reason it is so important. So we have to understand why something like this matters, because I saw it firsthand. Many of you, if you have examples of this, like yourself growing up, when I had, again, being threatened or having patches, kids wearing, things that were obscene, or having patches in government-run schools that were distracting or hate-filled or whatever. This here promoting the opposite of that, freedom, liberty, that can't be happening. That's obscene to someone. I don't know if it's not obscene to the children. I don't know at that point. I mean, maybe some snowflakes, I guess, right? The snowflake thing. So being a millennial, I can say that, I guess. And but it's obscene to the teachers, because they are anti-capitalist. They are Marxist, and they don't even know it. So that's why trip is their tripwire, it's their trigger. So that's really the story on this. I believe he was reinstated, and I think they apologized, and yeah, and I think it's okay, because again, it's the defunding, the boycott process, and this is where we have to vote, not just with our votes, but with our mouth, with our wallet, and with our feet. You have to make your voice heard. You have to make it hurt people. We have to start standing, because again, a lot of people that are liberty-minded or just want to be left alone, libertarians, whether it's conservatives, maybe some liberals, they just want to be left alone. They just want to go to work, raise their family, and do their own thing. You cannot just sit idly by and hope things will get better. Hope is not a strategy, and we have to actually get involved and be active. That is one of the most important things. As Plato said, if you are not involved in politics, you'll be governed by your inferiors. Politics is also voting with your feet, not just with the vote, because again, it's not always who votes, it's who counts the votes that matters. So you have to, more importantly, vote with your mouth and make your voice be heard, your wallet, and your feet. Appreciate you. Please share this out. Appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. The algorithm hates truth, so share this out, please. Appreciate that very much. Trust but verify. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. And this is not financial advice, it is freedom advice. And we'll see you on the next one.